listening to It's All Good, Magic, Mysticism, and Earth Medicine. Check us out by visiting www.magicandmedicine.blogspot.com. I'm your host, Dr. Candace Nadine Green.
And hello again, everyone. Welcome to It's All Good, Magic, Mysticism, and Earth Medicine. I'm going to apologize in advance for any background noise you may hear as I am recording during this pandemic here, and everyone's here at home. My children are outside running around, and so hopefully I told them I was recording and not to come in until I let them know that I'm done. My husband he went to a store to pick up something that's on sale so we can use it for summer. But anyway, so that's what's going on. So I have a lot of information during this episode. So I do hope that I'm able to record this without too much disruption. I told the kids, don't come inside unless someone's bleeding, please. I'll come and get you and let you know that I'm done. So what have we been doing during this pandemic? Well, lots of things. The homeschooling thing is going great. I mean, just like everyone else, I'm exhausted. But I'm very thankful to have everyone here at home with me. And there's not going to be any schools for the rest of the year. So we're doing this until June 18th. Also, that means we're all gatherings are off. So there's no we always have a 4th of July party, and we're not having one this year, which I'm grateful for because, frankly, this has been a very tough school year. The schedules have been insanely crazy. I've just been burnt out with the kids' schedule, my schedule, all the events, and my husband's schedule. It's just been, I was ready to burn out. But I'm very thankful that I'm able to be at home during this time. I mean, I have no events this summer. All of my author gigs, all of my artist gigs have been canceled. And frankly, I'm okay. I'm putting things on Etsy. I'm writing a new book at home that it seems like every night I wake up, I have a notepad by my bed, and I finish another chapter and another chapter and another chapter. It's a fantasy novel, which I'm so excited about. And I've been finishing books, like reading some fantasy books that I really wanted to get around to. I've been finishing them quickly, and now I'm at home. I'm making some cloth dolls, which I've always wanted to do. I conquered my sewing machine. We had a 3-day battle, and I won. And I have tons of fabric. So I've been making masks. And also, for those of you who've never seen my picture, I have long dreadlocks. And when I'm working and doing stuff, I like to keep them up out of my way, or I won't be able to get anything done. So I have these lock cloths. They're like neck gaiters, and which they can be because they're versatile. You can pull them up over your locks. You can also use them for masks, because when I didn't have any masks, I used one of my dreadlock bandana things on my face, and it works just fine. So, I mean, you just have to have the right cloth. It's like polyester and spandex cloth. It's a combo, like probably like 5 or 6% spandex, and the rest is polyester. And I have a lot of this cloth, so I've been doing that. I'm wearing one now because I was outside in the garden not too long ago, and I ran inside and said, this is a great opportunity to go record this show that I wrote up. So here we are. And that's what's been going on. Loving it. I hear so many people complain, oh, I hate it, and this and that. And then people saying how it's hard doing homeschooling. I'm like, well, now you know what teachers have to do. As I was a teacher for 11 years, I taught English. I taught seventh grade. And then my last 3 years, I went to the new high school where I met my husband. Well, where I already met him, but where our relationship blossomed. And I taught, and people would always say, teachers do nothing but sit at a desk and blah, blah, blah. And you don't deserve any more money and blah, blah, blah. And I said, yeah, want to try doing this job? Now, these people who are home with like 2, 3 kids or some 5 kids doing all the homeschooling, try to have a classroom of 25 kids and not just one classroom. 6 periods a day, 25 kids every class. Okay, that's, I remember one time I had like, on average, I had 132 students total, and I didn't know all their names, all their grades, and it was not easy. Okay, so I don't want to hear any people talk about teachers anymore. Teachers are heroes too, just like these nurses and doctors and everyone else saving lives. Look what teachers do too. Show some respect, people. We have so many ignorant people in this world, I'm telling you, who think about themselves, are so selfish. But I digress. Let's get on to today's topic, trance work and psychic protection. Now, when people think about trance work, they are automatically associated with shamanism. I mean, that's what people know trance as, shamans. They think that only shamans practice that. Shamanism is the most widely known trance. Their practices are the most widely known, and especially when it comes to trance tradition. The word shaman is derived from a Siberian term, and it has come to mean or define any healer who believes he or she heals by manipulating the power of spirits using the trance technique. Now, shamans with trance work, enjoyed sensory overload, expectation, and suggestions in their rituals to heal and to predict. Shamans were known as seers, and some today still think that they are seers. And it's not only shamans, people, but that's what people come to associate it with. Now, there was one important, significant trance movement, which is a Native American trance movement called the ghost dance, which was, originated in about, not originated, but it was became widely known in 1889, 1890, around that time. And it was developed by a self-proclaimed Native American prophet, for those of you who don't know that. And the ghost dance was a trance-inducing ritual that was adopted by many Native American tribes across the western and central United States as a backlash to the Euro-American encroachment. We can't do that. Let's do this. So the tribes were practiced the long hour ceremony of dancing, singing, and drumming. And it was believed that, excuse me, sorry, I had something in my mouth. It was believed that performing the ritual and concentrating on the central message of deliverance from the European society, because, they were oppressed, it would help them to bring about the destruction of the European society and a subsequent resurgence of the Native American way of life. Now, the shaman was able to transcend the human condition and pass freely back and forth through the different cosmological planes. A shaman is able to move between realities. And a significant part, I'm going to read something. This is this wonderful book called The Way of the Shaman by Michael Harner. And let's see. I'm going to talk about, drumming. A lot of drumming is associated with Native American tribes and African tribes. But right now we're talking about Native American tribes. Drumming produces changes in the central nervous system. That's why it's effective. And laboratory research by, I'm probably going to announce the name wrong, Neher, Neher, has demonstrated that drumming produces changes in the central nervous system. The rhythmic stimulation affects the electrical activity in many sensory and motor areas of the brain, not ordinarily affected through their connections with the sensory area being stimulated. This appears to be due in part to the fact that the single beat of a drum contains many sound frequencies, and accordingly, it simultaneously transmits impulses along a variety of nerve pathways in the brain. Furthermore, drum beats are mainly of low frequency, which means that more energy can be transmitted to the brain by a drum beat than from a sound stimulus of higher frequency. This is possible, Naher states, because the low frequency receptors of the ear are more resistant to damage than the delicate high frequency receptors and can withstand higher amplitudes of sound before pain is felt. So there's some information for you science people. That's from the book The Way of the Shaman by Michael Harner. So, and then my kids are getting louder outside. I can hear them. If you can hear them, I'm sorry. I should have played music in the background. I'm thinking of doing that for one of my shows, have some nice music going in the background. Some soothing witchy music. Okay, so anyway, that's what's going on. So let's get back to what we're talking about in regards to trance work. Okay, so trance states are bridges to the conscious and the earthly hidden realms of our souls. It is such a vital tool. What is a trance? For those of you who don't know what a trance is an altered form of consciousness in which a person is neither fully awake nor fully asleep. It is walking between the world of the conscious and the subconscious mind. You may hear things like zoning out, being off with the fairies, or out of it, or daydreaming. Now, according to lonerwolf.com, there are five levels of altered states of consciousness, and there's 5 of them. There's the first one, number 1, very light trance. 2, light trance. 3, medium trance. 4, deep trance, and 5, very deep trance. Entering a trance state helps us to bypass the critical mind, which interferes with deep inner transformation and communicates directly with the unconscious mind. Now, this is because the rational mind is a barrier to the unconscious mind, and the unconscious mind is sometimes also known as the irrational mind, which I totally disagree with. But there are people out there who, say you're being irrational, that fairy belief is irrational, all these things like that. And that's has become to be connected with the unconscious mind, which just really, really makes me angry. It's not cool. We bury our unresolved trauma and the majority of our pain and the neurosis in our unconsciousness. Trance work has played a significant role in contacting spiritual guides, seeking animal allies, communicating with ancestors, and communicating with one's own soul. Communicating with also deceased, spirits, other spirits too. They don't just have to be ancestors. The trance work can be seen as, is seen as a door to the other side of reality. Now, there are some ways, these are just some of the many ways to induce a trance. Breath work, like when you're breathing, yoga, all those things. I find that calms, and that makes it possible for me to begin trance. So I find that breath work is very important. There's another one, mantra and prayer. Some people find that useful. I tried it, and I tried that, and I kind of combine a lot of methods when I'm trying to get into trance work. Primal rhythms, beats, sounds like drumming, rattle, shaking. I have an African rattle. I have lots of drums, but I also have a rattle that I have on one of my altars. I have a few altars around the house where I do my nighttime work, my nighttime meditation and trance work, and it's an wooden African egg that has seeds in it, and I shake it, and that helps get me calm and helps me relax so I can go into trance. Also, there's self-hypnosis, staring at something for a long time, a pendulum, visualization, or incense and essential oil. Now that's great because I burn incense all the time, and to me it's relaxing. It's all about, it's relaxing. It's all about getting your body ready so you can naturally, or with the help of things, go into trance. Physical and emotional catharsis, physical exhaustion from dancing, getting into trance. Now, when you go into trance, I highly suggest that you protect yourself before you go into. You establish your protection, whether it be with your guides or angels. Just get protection. Protect yourself from unwanted entities or portals that you don't want to go into. If you are nervous or doubtful before you go into trance, do not engage in trance work. Honestly, don't do it. And if you are a solitary practitioner, set a gentle timer to emerge from the trance and then ground yourself to get rid of the trance shock when the timer goes off. You should always reground yourself anyway when going into and out of trance. And if you want to have another person or persons there with you, have them drum. Like when you're going on when you're going like that of a shamanic journey, as a signal for you to gently and calmly return to the non-trance state, and then followed by grounding or some Reiki, if that you shall wish. But always make sure you ground yourself and before you go into trance work, and bring along your protective guides before entering the trance. You want to make sure that you don't encounter lower vibrational entities who mean harm or who just want to cause an imbalance, like doubt, fear. Don't enter trance with doubt, fear, or uncertainty, as these will not produce any favorable results, and they could leave you open to unwanted entity contact or communication. Try to think, I can do this, and be positive before you go into trance. Thought is the most powerful force on this planet. I have power. Say things, I have power. I can do this. Enter it confidently. Because, like attracts like, so don't be afraid, or that you're going to attract something who feeds off fear. You can use calming oils, like we mentioned before, to calm you when you're entering the trance. You can burn incense while you're going into trance, although I wouldn't really burn anything while I'm going into trance. Like get a diffuser and get some nice essential oils, sandalwood, or something that is lavender, something that's calming. I would hesitate to recommend burning anything when you're in trance, because you're not really conscious and you don't want to leave anything burning, because safety issues, please. Unless you have some way of containing it, like in a bucket of water, so in case it falls over, it automatically puts itself out. That's smart. Okay. Smudge. Always smudge before you go into trance work. Smudge the area. When you're doing some really, if you're going to do some really serious trance work, smudge the area. Get rid of any unwanted energies. Always cleanse the space before beginning any type of spiritual work anyway. That's the important thing that you should be doing anyway on a regular basis, to help get of any residual energy. Smudging, sagebrush, spraying crystal clear, all those help. You want to create an inner and outer temple. Meditation is a safe mental place, and include a form or physical representation of a protective deity. You can carry protection talisman during this trance work, so you feel that will further ensure that you are safe and protected. So that is all I have to share with you about trance work and psychic protection. Again, it's very important. Very important. Now, I would write monthly articles about herb of the month, and I just decided, no, I'm done. So what I'm going to do now is do the magic of the month, which opens up a lot to talk about stones, crystals, herbs, plants, you name it. And I've been writing so much, so many other things, that I decided for this month, the magic of the month is going to be on this podcast instead of me writing an article, because I've just been swamped and busy, which is good because that's how I want to be. I'm tired, but I thought, hey, I'll do it on the podcast. So today's magic of the month is sapphire. Talk about the crystal sapphire. And a lot of this information comes from the Crystal Bible by Judy Hall, and I'll leave that in these show notes, along with the book that I mentioned for the Trancework, The Way of the Shaman. So sapphire comes in blue, yellow, green, black, and purple. It's bright and transparent when it's polished. Some sapphire colors are rare, but most are easily obtained as uncut stones. Sapphire is known as the wisdom stone, and each color has its own particular wisdom to share with you. It focuses and it helps calm the mind. It releases unwanted thoughts and mental tension. It brings peace of mind and serenity. It aligns the physical, mental, and spiritual planes and restores balance within the body. Sapphire also can be used to release depression and release spiritual confusion, also to stimulate concentration. It brings about prosperity and attracts all kinds of gifts. And we're talking about spiritual gifts. If you place the sapphire on the throat, like in a necklace or a choker, it will help to release frustration and facilitates self-expression. If you wear it on your finger, like as a ring, make sure that it touches the body somehow. It calms overactive body system and regulates the glands and heals the eyes, removes impurities and stress, treats blood disorders, alleviates excessive bleeding, and strengthens veins. It also improves the vein elasticity. Now, each color has its own gift to offer you. So let's discuss each color. So I have my notes here, as I do. Let me just drink some coffee because I need my coffee. I love iced coffee, and I'm going to drink my iced coffee. So good. All right. So black sapphire protects and centers. It imparts confidence in one's own intuition and heightens employment prospects and helps in retaining a job. Again, you can wear it on your finger, your neck, all those things. Now, blue sapphire is traditionally associated with love and purity. Seeker after spiritual truth, and extremely effective for earth and chakra healing. It is the tranquil stone. It helps keep you on the spiritual path. It is used in shamanic ceremonies to transmute negative energies, and it opens and heals the throat chakra and thyroid. Blue sapphire can also facilitate self-expression and speaking your truth, speaking your mind. Green sapphire improves inner and outer vision. It improves dream recall, stimulates heart chakra, brings loyalty, fidelity, and integrity. It enhances compassion, and it increases an understanding of all the frailties and unique qualities of others, which is so important, so important. So we're not so self-centered. And it honors trust and respect for other people's belief systems, which also is important. The pink sapphire acts as a magnet. It draws into your life all that you need in order to evolve. And it is a fast-acting stone. It teaches us how to master our emotions. It clears emotional blockages and integrates the transmuted energies. Purple sapphire awakens, which we need. Helpful for meditation, stimulates the Kundalini rise, stimulates the crown chakra, stimulates opening spirituality. It activates the pineal gland. It links to psychic abilities, stimulates visionary qualities, and is very calming. And the last stone, oh no, it's not the last stone. Sorry, we have more. Sorry, got ahead of myself. The royal sapphire. It eliminates negative energy from your chakras, gets them all out. It stimulates the third eye to access information for growth. It teaches responsibility for your own thoughts and feelings. Royal sapphire is good for treating brain disorders like dyslexia. So if you know anyone with dyslexia, try giving them royal sapphire necklace, stone, bracelet, anklet, ring, one of those. Now the star sapphire, it's called a star sapphire because within its depths, it has a 5-pointed star formation. And that symbolizes its main makeup represents drawing you into its depths. So it opens your intuition. It centers your thoughts. It helps you anticipate other people's intention. And it contacts extraterrestrial beings. The star sapphire is a very rare stone. So if you find one, let me know. If you find one, though, that's awesome. I don't have one. I hope to find one. A white sapphire is extremely pure energy. It opens your crown chakra, heightens spiritual energy. It opens cosmic consciousness. And white sapphire is extremely protective because it removes spiritual path obstacles and it helps you access your potential and life purpose. And finally, the yellow sapphire. It attracts wealth to your home. It can be placed in cash boxes to increase prosperity and earnings. You know, that's a great idea. I have this cash box when I go on my gigs, my artist gigs and my author gigs and my mystic gigs as well. I don't have many of those. I've been doing a lot of that online. I should put a yellow sapphire in my cash box and see what happens. But you have to believe. You just can't put it there and be like, ah. You have to believe. Believing is part of the magic, a great part of the magic. Magic with the K, not abracadabra magic. Magic with the K. Okay. So be sure to wear yellow sapphire near the body, touching the body, as with all of these stones. Yellow sapphire stimulates the intellect and improves overall focus so that the bigger picture is seen. It can be used as an elixir to remove toxins from the body. Now, I don't know how it's used as an elixir, but if you find out, let me know. So I'm thankful that you have come to our show and that we were able to give you some great information. As always, check me out at www.magickandmedicine.blogspot.com. All of the links will be in the show notes, as well as some great resources for you. And I'm thrilled that some people have been clicking on the links and getting help from the resources and contacts and all of that. Also, during this time, those of you who would like a reading, I am very intuitive. I do online intuitive meetings. I do them via Skype. I also do them via Zoom. I can also do them by Facebook Messenger. All of that will be in the show links as well. And you can set up an appointment with me. I have lowered my prices because I know that right now it is a very difficult time for a lot of people. And I'm not out to become a billionaire. I'm just out to help people and support my family as well, the best that I can. So thank you. Thank you for listening. So blessed be.
Thank you for listening to It's All Good, Magic, Mysticism, and Earth Medicine. Visit us anytime at www.magicandmedicine.blogspot.com.